and turn it up a bit. Please. Do you do many lives on like your page, like talking to people?
I have before, but it was always the music. Like,
oh yeah,
I would get it, and so I'm trying to find a way around it. Like usually after you go live or whatever you do, if you go in there and put like, I do not own the rights to this music,
sometimes and it's picky. They also don't put out like great guidelines for it. They're like, oh, good luck.
Here you go.
Yeah,
let's see.
Enjoy. Yeah, and I have because you can pay for like non-copyrighted music platforms, so I use Pretzel for like my home stuff. But it's like $10 a month or something. But yeah, and even with some like non-copyrighted music, it likes to throw a fit of like, because you use like Lily Pichu or find a playlist that has that. But sometimes it's still a butt, and that happens to us at our sporting events even because they play like their warm-up music, and so it'll flag us for copyright on Facebook. Don't be that good. Right? They're like, don't do anything you would normally do on a live.
Yeah. Maybe try and talk over it.
You're just singing the lyrics instead. Just toxing everything you do. That's great. Okay. We have those. Also, hello, live friends.
I didn't even say anything. I'm just like, here we go.
There's like, hi, hi friends. This is going to be fun. It's the most commented on post right now for all of our news sites. Goodness, spicy.
Yeah, mixed feelings.
Yeah, and there are with things like that at all times, but it's just like, whoa. Some comments that, because we have an auto filter that takes out like profanity and like harassment type terms. I was like, oh. So they're looking at it, I'm like, ooh, that's spicy. They all have extra Tabasco. All right, we got 2 ads, and then we'll get her started. I've already told all the listeners we're meeting with new friends today, so here's that. You're on 3. People drink things that won't make us burp on here. It's called content.
Burping contest.
I'm not beyond it. We come back when we're in our new studios. We have ice cream over there, and I was like, I'm going to challenge someone to an ice cream eating contest. It's going to happen.
Boy. Then we would have, other issues.
That's funny. Lactose? Who's she? Is she cute? That's funny. Yeah. Hey, welcome in. It's the Renegade Wake Up Show here on 93.9 in Riverton, 104.1 in Lander, and 106.3 in DuBois. Okay, I promised we would meet a new friend today, okay? So I'm joined in the studio this morning by Monica Maxine, and you might not know her as that because she's also known as the Body Witch. So good morning.
Hi.
So the Body Witch, when I first saw this come across my desk, they're like, guess who's going to be your guest this week? And I was like, ooh. So I did a bunch of Googling in the most respectful way.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of cool content as far as you have a ton of classes. So if you don't know the Body Witch, it's based around yoga, but it has a lot of little branches that come off that tree, it looks like.
Oh, yeah. So it's rooted in yoga, and it started in yoga, but I've gotten into a lot of other little things, specifically tiny tattoos.
Those are so cool. And actually, what was funny, and she's getting the full recipe, first of all, but we saw a coworker walk by, and I was like, Leanne, I was like, is this who gave you a tattoo? And it was. So you're kind of taking Fremont County by a mini storm.
Yay.
So for folks that have never done yoga before, what do you think is, I guess, the most intimidating part of starting? Because we talked a little bit before this, and I've always been the kind of redneck tomboy type, and when I hear yoga, I'm like, ooh, it sounds scary.
Yeah, I think a lot of people say, I'm too stiff for yoga, and I'm like, that's why you go.
That's why you do yoga. Yeah.
But I think it's also maybe the group class fear. Like,
right.
oh, I just want to hide in the back of the class. Then everyone wants to hide in the back of the class. Not everyone can be back there. And I promise any class you come to of mine, I like to dim the lights down low.
Oh, okay.
Just feel comfortable, and so that way you can just kind of be there and do what feels
so
good
you
to
can't see Rusty crying in the corner. You just hear her.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's perfect. And so you think it's kind of that initial, like, I don't want to look silly feeling.
Yeah, and I think that's pretty common. You know, me specifically, I have a lot of social anxiety.
Right.
So that's pretty common. And it's just getting over that first maybe initial fear, and then people start coming back.
And they're like, okay, now I think once you get the first one or two down, and then you're feeling a little bit more daring, like, oh, I can do this. I can learn all the different things. And is there a different level in classes? Are they all considered beginner classes, or how does that work with yoga?
I always tell people in my classes, do what feels good to you. Like, even if you just want to, like, sit on the mat and be like, ooh, I'm watching everyone. This is, like, awesome energy.
Okay.
But at the beginning of each year, I like to do a beginners series. So for a full month, every week we go over the poses and just kind of break everything down. And then so that way people can get a little more comfortable with.
So if they're completely new, you suggest probably doing, like, the beginners section. But if they just say, like, oh, you know, I kind of know some... Because, like, I've been to a few classes, but I'm not so sure. Could they still jump in kind of whenever?
Oh, for sure.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, everybody just modifies as needed, so just come and have fun.
Perfect. Okay, so for those of you listening, I have just met Monica. We're new to each other yet, so tell me a little bit about yourself. Are you kind of a Fremont County local? How's things going?
I have been in Fremont County, Riverton, specifically since I was 10, so I like to consider myself
You're pretty solidified.
What are we called, Wyomingites?
Wyomingites?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. I would say around April is when I kind of started becoming a little more nomadic. So I go between here, Casper. I teach everywhere, specifically in the summer, events, yoga festivals, all the things.
Oh, that's cool. And I bet with the traveling, do you notice a difference between the areas? Like as far as like classes, attendance, that sort?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I taught in Lander for about 5 years, and I would say my classes were super full. Like, we'd have to move people around. You know, COVID happened.
Right.
Kind of changed how things were, and numbers really declined. So I decided to leave Lander and just kind of pursue other things. Mm-hmm. And now my Riverton classes are really picking up.
Oh, cool.
My festivals are doing amazing. So, you know, sometimes you just got to go with the flow.
Just got to wing it. I was going to say, COVID made a lot of people change, and I saw... I think at the time you were also doing some like remote yoga stuff too. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of cool. You're an adapter. I like it. So when you're not doing yoga, traveling, being our Fremont County's nomad and champion, what do you do with your spare time?
I love video games. We were kind of talking about this. I was like, well, I'm kind of into something that you are. Video games. I would say I started with Call of Duty when I was younger, of course.
She's over here like murking guys online. Yep. It's cool.
And now, ever since Destiny came out, Destiny 2, I adore it.
Yeah. Okay, she's raiding out is what she's doing. I love it. So definitely a cool energy to meet somebody that genuinely cares about other people. And so is that kind of why you got started in yoga, or how did you come to be a yoga instructor?
I found yoga actually on YouTube back, it was right after high school. I was going through kind of a crappy time in life, so I was like, I was looking for something, right, to make myself feel at peace. And I found yoga, and the more I practiced, the more I felt just so amazing in my body. And when you feel amazing in your body, you start to feel more amazing in your mind and soul and everywhere in your life. And ever since I found yoga, I wanted to get certified, but it's kind of expensive, so it took me a while to finally do it. And when I jumped at the chance, that's when I got my 200-hour registered yoga training and my booty yoga at the same time.
Oh, wow. That's cool. And with that, it kind of going back to what you said about, you know, if you heal some of the parts of you that maybe aren't so stable at the time, I think it does help. And if you're looking for something, too, that, like, will kind of start having an effect on the rest of your life, whether it's your job or maybe your relationship with your family, this can be something that helps with that too.
Oh, for sure. Right. It's a state of mind too. So if you go in thinking like it's not going to change anything, well, then it's probably not going to change anything. If you go with the state of mind that it's going to help, it's probably going to help.
I like that. All right, okay. So whenever someone's on the station, we like to have some fun and get to know you. So now here comes the fun part, and of course listeners are like, here we go. Okay, so this is normally the part of the show where we do our slang word of the day. And this one is called Swiftonomics. Okay, so I'll read you the definition, then we'll chat about it. So this is the effect that Taylor Swift has had on ticket prices and the economies of cities and local businesses, right? Because when she goes to a town, like everybody goes there. And they're like, oh, I'm going to try that store, and I'm going to try this. But also she's skyrocketed ticket prices, whatever. Are you a Taylor Swift person?
I don't.
You're kind of like, meh.
Yeah, I don't listen to her, but
Right.
I don't have anything against her.
There's some people that are, I think in a way she's kind of like Nickelback at this point.
Oh, yeah.
Because some people
Yep.
are like, I hate Nickelback, or like, I really like them, you know?
Mhm.
So she's always, it seems like a trigger topic, but I'll be damned if I don't hear occasionally like one lyric that just sticks in my brain. Like the Shake It Off song for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Just me bobbing my head to imaginary Taylor Swift all the time. And now I think it's like, it's me. Hi.
Oh, my gosh. Yes.
I'm the problem, it's me, yeah. So now I'm constantly the problem with Taylor Swift stuck in my head. I'm not even a super fan. So there you go, Swiftonomics. That's our term for the day. Okay, so there is one question that I've asked every single person that's come on the show, whether it's been Breaking Benjamin, it's been, let's see, we had Chancey Williams, Tris Munsick. We asked the same question for all of them. Crocs or flip-flops?
Crocs, and I'm
She
wearing
didn't
them
hesitate.
today. Crocs with socks specifically.
Crocs with
so.
socks. She's not a sweaty Croc gal, you
No.
know. I like that. I would deal with Crocs more, I think, if people wear socks with them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I like it. So there you go. You passed the test. She didn't even hesitate.
Oh,
One
no.
time somebody answered heel Crocs. I was like, excuse me? And I Googled, they're like $700. And I was like, of course. Of course, like a famous music artist would say heel Crocs. So folks, we're going to take a break. If you're just now joining us, we're hanging out on the morning show with Monica Maxine, aka The Body Witch. We're going to be back here in just a second. We're going to learn more about some of the classes you can attend, some of the festivals, how to get a mini tattoo. That's all coming up on the show. Here's Luke Combs with Fast Car. Nice.
Thank you.
We did it! That's awesome. I too went down a destiny hole for a very long time. Lately it's like the fantasy RPGs, but
It always comes back, as soon as like they have an event.
You're
Like
like,
I'll
oh,
go away for a couple
update?
of months, and I'm like, oh, I'll just come back and like catch up here, and then go away.
wow! Right. I'm like, okay. I do those, and then like I went through a Souls game binge recently. So I was like Elden Ring, and Sekiro was way hard. Like stupid hard. I beat it and I did like a victory lap around the house. I was like, I'm the greatest! So let's go! Cool. Still doing good. Okay, so touch base on who you are, which helps. Talk a little bit about the yoga and wellness side of things, and we'll kind of like lace that in as we go through too. So we'll talk about your upcoming events. And you're more than welcome to pull it up on your phone if you want like the exact dates and times or where. And then we'll talk about your classes at Teton. And then we'll talk about your training too. That way you make sure we don't miss it.
Yeah.
Sweet. So how you doing? Feel good?
Yeah. A little shaky.
You're
but-
good. No, that's okay. This is normal. You're good.
But I even get that in every class I
Oh.
teach. I'm like,
that makes
I've
sense.
taught this a million times, but I'm going in and I'm getting nervous. Like,
Is it interesting when you get like new people? Do you ever get like a little extra nervous for new ones?
because I have to go over the spiel of like what
booty
booty yoga is.
Yay. Right, and you're like, it's funny because like I've gotten pretty comfortable on the radio. I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, I've been doing this for like 10 years, and then I still host like live events. And I'm like, there were these two little girls at the Boys and Girls Club. They were actually a couple that like made those little pictures, but they were like, we have to tell jokes this morning, and we asked if we could do this, but now we're scared. And I was like, you want to know a secret? And it's funny because like the governor was sitting there listening to me, and I'm like, you want to know a secret? I was like, I'm terrified too. I was like, look at my hands. I was like, let's go. They were so stinky cute though. It's funny though. I became friends with all these Boys and Girls Club kids, and now they like purposefully aim for me in dodgeball now.
Of course.
Let's go. I'll take it. Okay, so we have. And even if I go through some of these, like if I ask, like, "Hey, where's Farrell at?" Then we can go through some.
Oh
of
yeah.
those.
Yeah.
That Thanks. If I lost it. Come back, friend.
I'm obviously nervous about like teaching my Pharaoh class because I had a dream about it.
Oh, no.
That it was in the place that it's supposed to be, and it went horrible.
Oh,
and
no.
like there were problems with like the building, and like people just kept showing up all throughout class. So I'm like, yeah.
No.
Thanks.
Just kidding. So is that more just based on like intimacy? I kind of read that a little bit. So what all does that entail?
Tapping into like your feminine sensuality side, just kind of letting go, has some explicit music, and just letting go a little bit more rather than like the rigidity of
that
yoga.
Makes sense. Yeah, because I think like yoga is kind of like you almost have to keep up an image, if that makes sense. Like it's all. It would be like attending a college class versus attending maybe like a paint night.
Yeah. I mean, you can ask whatever you want, but I'm not like the yoga police, I like to say.
Right.
I don't conform to what you think a yogi should be like.
But sometimes I think that's better. Because when you're more comfortable, like, obviously you can let loose more, have more fun, make more friends. Make a community on it. So that's cool, though. Oh, someone's like, hey, listening in. It's like, cool. Neat. Thanks. So we'll do one more song. Might do a Wyoming Wednesday song. Just for kicks. Fast transition, let's go! Me changing my mind last minute.
So if it's on Spotify, you have like the rights to
So
play it?
The thing is we pay. Now I'm gonna draw a blank. So we pay music rights to like 4 different companies, and so what it is we have to report this music that we play. So it all goes in the playlist. I just have to write down like what songs I inserted.
Oh, okay.
So and then at the end of the month we print those out. Like this one, they'll give you like a certain time. So this is called BMI, which is Broadcast Music in Industries. Goodness. And then so I have to take my music from 8/6 to 8/12 and then send it to them, and they send you like a price based on like what music you played.
Oh.
Because every artist has their own rate.
Yeah.
So then they calculate the average and you just pay them the average so they can pay the artist.
So if it was like an indie artist that probably doesn't have a management, how would that go?
Well, it depends on if they actually have copyright rules. So if it's someone that's smaller, like some of our Wyoming artists, like Jared Rogerson has given us his music, and he's like, hey, and I have them all linked up, but I'm like, why not give them some Spotify plays while I'm at it? So like Chancey Williams will send us music, and as long as it's not copyrighted, as far as like, I try not to be copyright police, but they have to say like, hey, I didn't copy this from somebody.
Okay.
But or if they're doing it covered, like they have to like explicitly say.
Yeah, because I was thinking of 2 Wyoming-based artists.
Oh yeah.
Do you know like Fia Vincent?
No, I don't.
It's spelled Fiadh, I think.
Okay. Vincent, you said? Cool. And then what was the other one?
Lauren Podjun, Podjun.
I'm killing it. I'll have to look into them. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm always looking for more artists too, and we stick like normally to like the more either like country western, obviously, but at the same time with Wyoming Wednesdays I like to break.
Yeah,
break the norm a little bit.
Lauren, she has kind of almost like a folksy vibe that might fit in. But Fia, I mean, I just keep listening to the one song over and over.
You're like, yeah.
I use it in my yoga classes. So.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. Let's check it out. Why not? Yeah, it's one of those things. If they're a little smaller, they probably don't have a record label yet, and they might not have like royalties out there. And honestly, I'm not sure what Spotify does for like smaller artists. Yeah. So I'm not sure if they get paid per play or if they have to hit a certain threshold first, kind of like other social media. But
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be curious. But as far as what we do, we just have to report everything we play to our little companies, and they're trying to grow them, and we're like, but then there's more companies to pay. But some of them treat their artists a lot better too, so we're like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure neither of them have management. They're just doing their own thing.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it'd be fun. And like this guy's from Pinedale. So I'm like, sweet. Cool. He came in here one time and we had a blast just talking. I was like, hell yeah, that's amazing. Okay. We did those guys. We'll go on in about another 20 seconds. Woo! We're doing it. 93.9 KTAK. We're hanging out for Wyoming Wednesday here on the show. And I'm joined today in the studio by the Body Witch, aka Monica Maxine. Hey!
Hey.
So, I'm enjoying getting to know her because it turns out we have a lot in common. But I am not the bendy type of person, is what I told her when she first came in. And she goes, there's actually a lot of people that come into yoga and they're like, I'm not bendy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how do you get to be more bendy? Like, is there an insider tip? Drink more water?
I mean, for sure, we always need to drink more water.
She's watching me chug a Mountain Dew, by the way, so.
And I have coffee right here. I'm like,
we're killing it. We're killing it.
As I start my day with coffee and then forget to drink water until the afternoon.
Right. It's cool. It's cool. As long as you're somewhere in there, right?
It's unfortunate that in Fremont County we don't have a hot yoga studio, but I would say hot yoga or practicing, in a warm environment, take care of yourself, again, more water.
Right.
Really helps with the flexibility.
Oh, okay.
Think of like, a rubber band, so if you're stretching it in cold, it's not going to stretch very much. If you're stretching it in a warm environment, it's going to stretch.
I'm the equivalent of an Alaskan rubber band.
Rubber bands. That's what we aspire to be.
I love it. That's amazing. So, you said you get to travel a lot with your work, and you have a few classes and festivals. What's the difference between seeing you at a festival and seeing you at a class?
A class is probably something more reoccurring. A festival, you get like the energy, you get the chance to connect with more instructors, teachers, vendors. It's just an environment, I think, environmental change.
So it would, and maybe this is just me, is it maybe a little more approachable to try a class first and then go to something larger of like, hey, I've decided I like this, and now let's check out something bigger? Or is it maybe more accessible at a festival, you think? Or it kind of just depends?
Yeah, I would say it depends. It depends on if you want to spend the money to go to a festival. They're typically a little more expensive than just going to a class.
You're getting a little bit more than a class, so you get
but that is a chance, obviously, to try different types of yoga. And you're like, okay, maybe I like this, maybe I don't like this, maybe I like this instructor, maybe I don't like this instructor.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody teaches differently,
awesome. So sweet. Okay. So the thing is locally they can find you over at Teton Gym, right? So that's Wednesdays. It's 6:30.
Yep, 6:30 p.m.
How long of a class for people who have these tight schedules and whatnot?
It is scheduled for an hour, but I'd say we start like 5 after, maybe, and like 5 before.
Perfect. I like classes like that because then I feel like I'm never late.
Yeah.
Even if I'm a few minutes, I'm like, okay, I made it. We're okay.
I always try to pay attention to the clock. I always have like my phone, my playlist in front of me, so I'm like, oh, maybe I need to skip a song to make sure everybody gets to where they need to go.
And perfect. And then, so that one, and I know with Teton, if you have a membership, you can go to the classes. And then you can also pay a fee, I believe, to just attend a class if you want to.
Exactly.
Sweet. So that's an option, folks. And you can also check her out. She's got all sorts of social media. She has Facebook, Instagram. There's a website for it. Literally, if you Google The Body Witch, Riverton, Wyoming, it pops up. That's because that's what I did right before the show today. So, and then you have some events coming up. So July 15th, you're heading to Casper.
Yes, I am. We have the Casper Karma Yoga Fest over there. I will be teaching a booty segment right before our lunch breaks. That way, I don't wear everyone out for the whole day. And then I'm also tattooing at vendoring there.
Oh, that's cool. And where is that in Casper?
That'll be at Alcova, the lake out there.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. That is maybe.
Yeah, we have tents set up and everything. And
okay.
I think the time has passed to buy like your lunch ticket, but tickets are still available. And actually today I'm doing a drawing. I sponsored a ticket, so look out. You can still enter today until I would say like 7:30 p.m. right after class, and then I'll be drawing.
Perfect. And I did just see that link over on her Facebook page. So if you're a Facebook person, head on over. You can see that link and enter if you're looking to get into the festival. Alcova, I bet, is a beautiful area to do that. Have you been there before for something like this?
Yeah, I taught there actually last year. I did get a little heat sick, so we're back to the water again. Maybe that's like a theme today. Like
drink your water.
Yeah, the
people.
water. Yeah.
Perfect. And so it looks like. By the way, 90 degrees. I'm still laughing at the water comment. It's 90 degrees today, so drink your water, people. So you have the 15th, speaking of keeping up energy, and then you also have something going on the 16th this month.
Oh, yes. I was like looking at her.
You're like,
what
wait
do I have going on? I have so much going on this week. The 16th, it's my new movement. It's called Feral. I will be teaching that at the Bourgeois Pig. I like to call it the Bougie Pig. It's a coffee shop in Casper. It'll be after hours. I think at 6. I'm like,
Okay.
I should know this. My phone is up recording live right now. I believe it's at 6. It's the Bougie Pig. Bourgeois Pig and Casper Feral. If you want to know a little bit more about it, it's kind of tapping into the feminine side a little bit more than we do in Booty. Booty has a lot of like the fire elements.
Okay.
Fire is masculine,
Uh-huh.
and the cold side is feminine.
Oh, okay.
So we're tapping into the feminine a little bit more, the sensuality. I don't know if anyone's into like twerking. You probably see that everywhere. We are throwing that in a little bit.
Okay. Will you teach us to do that? Because like,
Yes.
I look like a cat that's got a hairball.
Yep, all about that spinal flexation, trying to, get out some of that stiffness.
The
in
rubber
back.
band.
Yes, rubber band.
Perfect. So that's going to be on the 16th. You can see all of these events over on her Facebook page. And then the other thing that's interesting, so we know you do the mini tattoos as well. They can schedule that, or they can catch you at any of these events, it sounds like.
Yeah, I almost said teach. I'm like trying to go from yoga to tattoos.
Right.
You can book with me. I'm over in the U.S. Energy building. I know that's kind of like an odd spot. People are like, "Are you in the DMV?" I'm like, "Well, we're around the corner in there." It is decorated really cute. I swear, it's not like walking into the DMV.
It's not like walking in to take your test.
You're like, "Oh, like I'm here to take my test for my tattoo."
I'm just saying, I got to go renew my driver's license, so like, I could probably sneak both.
Yeah,
There we
exactly.
go.
Just maybe like a nice face tattoo for your new driver's license.
Guys, if I don't get 93.9 tattooed on my eyebrow today, we've done tattoos on the show before, like that.
Oh, cool.
So the other thing that you do as well is you are a yoga instructor to create teachers as well, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, recently, I think it was last year, you have to meet a certain number of hours teaching after you get your 200-hour RYT, which means Registered Yoga Teacher.
Okay.
And now I'm a YACEP Yoga Alliance continuing education practitioner. Oh my gosh, that's a mouthful.
She's got all of the brain cells working this morning. I maybe have 2 collectively some days. So
that means that you can now lead yoga teacher trainings and cultivate, create other yoga teachers. Yeah,
and and I'm sure this is like a lot of other people in like a service type industry, of everyone has their own personality and their own way of doing things.
Mm-hmm. My first training, it's for Spark, by the way. Spark is my own creation. It's not like I'm teaching people how to be more vinyasa instructors, just a traditional yoga instructor. Spark is my creation. It's a blend of yoga and shadow boxing. So it really gives you like the space to let go. Like if you want to scream, you can scream. If you just like feel like you need to fight something, what are you fighting internally, externally?
Okay.
It's a lot of mind power that goes into it, along with like the physicality.
I love that.
I led my first training back in April, and I was really excited to see one of the women that I trained down in Green River. They had it on their schedule. I was like, wow, this is like surreal. Like my creation is on their schedule, but
that's really cool. Awesome. Okay, so folks, we're going to round up here in just a minute and kind of go over everything in case you missed something here in just a few minutes. I'm on the show this morning with the Body Witch, Monica Maxine, and of course you can find her at all of her social media. You have a chance to win a hosted ticket by her for the Casper Karma Festival over at Alcova Lake, which sounds beautiful, by the way. So maybe if you need some time to go relax and let go a little bit, this is your opportunity. Coming up, Parker McCollum up next. To be loved by you. But do you love you? I feel like this is a sappy moment, but I feel like you should also love you. Anyway, it's the Renegade Wake Up Show. You're hanging out this morning on 93.9 FM. Woo! Sweet. Do people saying hi, I think? Maybe. Oh, they're watching. You're doing it. Cool. So we have one left. These I kind of leave open time-wise, so that way if there's anything else. The only other thing, I was going to ask you off mic first. I thought of it, and I was like, well, just in case. So, as far as, because I feel like it's even more intimidating for guys if they were thinking about getting into yoga. Do you suggest your booty yoga for men as well, or is it more of a feminine type thing?
You can definitely ask that question. I've had so many men come
cool.
to come to my classes.
Okay, cool.
I'm trying to think how I would.
So I was thinking about that, and I was like, you know, there are some guys, and I know you talked about the feral, about tapping into more of the feminine. I was like, probably not as much, like maybe could be, but like probably not as male driven.
Right.
But with some of the other, I think it's totally fine to talk about that and say like, hey, you can try this.
Or whatever you identify as. I mean,
right,
like,
exactly.
you never know who needs something from the practice.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I think I'll ask that question. That way you can kind of explain, like, hey, this can be for everyone. And I was thinking about it too. I mean, hell, even some of the heavier traits, like, they're just beating the hell out of their body.
Yeah.
And you're like,
and then you come here, you shake it all out, and you're just like, my
and
body
like,
feels a little bit better.
I mean, I told you my experience with, like, any form of yoga, but I mean, we were running around like walking 21 miles a day and like mosh pits and everything else, and then I felt like a freaking flower and it just bloomed, like
just like floating.
I'm like, I feel good, my neck doesn't hurt anymore, like I'd like pushed around some big guy in a mosh pit for a couple hours.
Yeah.
So like that's cool though. That's awesome. Okay, I think we hit everything on our list of to-dos. Is there anything else that you can think of that you want to touch base on? And I'll ask you at the end too, like, hey, is there anything else you think of that you want to tell, like, our new friends?
I'll probably touch on NAF.
Okay, yes,
a little
that's
bit.
right, the merch.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Woo! I do have that literally perfect. Sweet. So we'll talk about that. We'll kind of do an overview. I'll tell the schedule of, like, hey, here's how to get a hold of her, here's her upcoming events, and then we'll dive into merch. And our other conversation about, like, hey, this is for everybody. So, cool. Sweet. We're doing hard things. Speaking of water, hydrate Facebook Live. That's funny. So what else you got on the plate for today? Anything cool?
Just tattooing all day. I have some 2 big matching tattoos.
Oh, cool.
So I'm excited.
Nice.
I drew this one up, like, specifically for them.
Oh,
so
that's
that's
cool.
why I'm like, I'm hoping that they like it and I post one.
Oh, that's cool. So is it a matching one or?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
it's
cool.
a skull with like a flower coming up out of it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Heck yeah, I like that. So you do mostly like line work? Do you do any shading or?
I don't prefer shading. Like, if I do shading, it's like mock shading, where it's just
Like stippling?
dots.
Okay, gotcha. That's cool. Nice. Yeah, I have a matching too with someone, and I was like, oh yeah, maybe it'll be a small one, and it ended up being the whole thigh piece. Like, I was like, she's like my best friend in the whole world, but.
Well, I guess that's fine.
Yeah.
And if you like it, then.
Oh yeah. It's just funny because I'll see her in like a bikini picture online or something, and I'm like, oh.
Wait, is that my leg?
Just kidding. But yeah, it was funny. I was like, oh, we're going like big. She's like, why not? I was like, good point.
Cool. Cool.
Cheers. Here we go.
The one matching tattoo I got covered up. And not because like I had anything against them. I was just like, I'm done with that part of my life. So
yeah. I think that's okay to change your mind too, you know. I find that a little more, I guess, like I have one really planned out tattoo on my back, but as far as like the others, I was like, why not? It's like this one was, we had Gino Andrew Arreblo. He's from Hawaii.
Oh yeah.
He tattoos here sometimes. So he was here and he was like, hey, I want to give away a tattoo. And I was like, cool. I'm like, come on the show. And so we were doing this big thing, and he's like, how are we going to make this fun? I was like, want to give me a tattoo live on the show?
And everyone hears that zzz.
Oh yeah, it was wild. So we did like a live video stream, and it was so funny.
That is fun.
I was like, let's go. So
like
then
it.
we were talking, and I'm like, this is really hard to do all of this and not move, you know, this right.
Yeah.
That was great. I was like, huh. We only had like one lady go on and like poo-poo it, like, is this a horrible influence? So like, well. I was like, so is anything else in life?
Yeah, you can't make everyone happy.
Yeah.
So don't even try.
Yeah, I was like, not to be bothered. That's fun. Okay, so we did those. Yeah, we'll go after this one. Okay. Sweet. I was in here yesterday, like dancing around, and I realized because they have a video stream on Wyo today on that one over there, because there's like another show happening right there. And I was like dancing around in the background. I rewatched the video, it just has me like,
oh well, whatever.
it's like, get it, Rusty.
It makes it real.
Live your best life. Okay. Sweet. Now we're definitely playing games together at some point, just so you know.
What console?
So I'm on PC right now.
Okay.
But
I
also
do have that
PlayStation.
too. So.
Sweet. Maybe became a PC snob last November. My husband's like, you should stream. She's like, why don't you? And I was like, good
Okay.
question. I was like, why not? So I do that, and then I do like my art on there too.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Just want to go be in the sunshine today. Is what I want to do.
I mean, I will have like 2 hours before I have to tattoo, so maybe I'll just like
Just go lay
outside.
I know I have some friends who are like, you want to go on the boat this weekend? I was like, fried my legs a couple weekends ago. There's no feeling, but maybe.
Just have a really large sun hat.
Oh,
Sit
right.
under it. It's like an umbrella.
Just give myself a sit there on the boat. Let's go. I have those UV shirts too because I just fry when we like float the river and stuff. Oof, it's horrible. All right, here we go. Good time, Alan Jackson. It's the Renegade Wake Up Show. You're tuned in at 93.9 in Riverton, 104.1 in Lander, and 106.3 in Du Bois. I hope you're having a beautiful Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. It is July 12th at about 8:40 in the morning, and we're joined on the show this morning by Monica Maxine, the Body Witch, and cool, wholesome person so far. You know, like I always give these reviews of people as they're sitting in front of me, which is probably they're like, oh, stop, keep coming, you know. But it's cool when you meet somebody that is so passionate about what they do and about making an impact on others' lives. And I think you do that in the sense of like teaching people to be their best selves and being okay with being themselves. So I like that. So we chatted a little bit off mic because I feel like yoga can really be for anyone. And I asked her specifically, I was like, do you encourage men to come to your classes too? Because I think sometimes it's like, you know? So do you think you get a lot of men in some of your classes?
I think yoga is typically a woman-based industry. But I would say maybe at least once a month I get a new male coming in. There is one older gentleman. He's super sweet. He sits in the back corner so he doesn't bug anyone. Yeah, he's super cute. He comes, I would say, like every week.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome. And whenever my classes were big over in Lander, there were a couple of men that were regulars that would come to class. Men need yoga as much as women, maybe even a little bit more. I think they're a little bit more stiff. They don't have as much movement in their hips, just anatomy-wise. It's just the way it is. And yeah, I encourage men, women, whatever you identify as, to come to class.
I was going to say, I know, like, my husband works a physical job, and so when he comes, because, like, mine's more mental, let's be honest. I talk about cats wearing pants and laugh at foam walls. So, like, but he comes home and he'll just be torn to shreds. Like, his back will hurt. His neck stiff. Wow, my knees hurt because I was like doing drywall today. So I think it's important for some of these men. I mean, if you're a rancher, I feel like you're in the saddle for a while, you know? Yeah. Or maybe you're in a tougher industry too, but it really can be for everyone, and you'll feel loads better and be able to move better at your profession if you do something like this. So just put that out there. Maybe just try it. You never know. And you do have a one-time option, like if you don't have a subscription to Teton Gym, which it is free if you do, but you can catch her Wednesdays at 6:30, and you can pay a one-time fee as well. And it's fairly inexpensive. I think it's like $5 or $6.
I think so.
So it's just the day pass to the gym, and then you get to go check her out. That's Teton Wednesdays at 6:30. And you can also see her full schedule. She's got on July 15th, the Casper Karma Festival at Okova Lake, which sounds beautiful, by the way. And then on July 16th, Farrell, that's in Casper as well. And you can see that at all of her social media pages. She's on Facebook, Instagram, has all of the things. But when I did creep on your website this morning, I saw that you also have like a merch line coming out.
Yes. So for the longest time, I think it was a year after I got certified, I reached out to Alex Tackett, which is the founder of NAF. I'm not going to say the whole word on the radio, but you can just check out my social and you'll know what I'm talking about. And I asked her, hey, can I teach at your retreat in Mexico? And she was like, heck yeah. And
that's cool.
That's how I first got introduced to her and her line. And now I'm trying to buy like all her stuff. Like today I'm wearing her Yoga Stoned t-shirt.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
So I recently asked her, I'm trying to reach out more, just put myself out there. I was like, hey, I have some ideas. You know, I work in artwork and stuff. do you think we could get together and come out with a line?
Sweet.
And she said yes. So we're working on the artwork and plans and stuff right now. So when she gets back from her Greece retreat,
How fancy.
I know, right?
That's
I
so
wish.
fancy.
She and I will be planning that, and hopefully that'll be out sometime by the end of the year.
Oh, how cool. And it's cool when you get to support things like this that are homegrown. You know, Wyoming, there's no state that rides for itself like Wyoming does. And that is something that is so incredible here. So,
Yeah, I think Wyoming is the most supportive state, like of each other, right? And even whenever we have people that come to Wyoming that maybe originally aren't from here, we're so welcoming, and people say that.
Team Implant.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, that's great. So that's kind of the overview, folks. The Body Witch, Monica Maxine. You got to get to know her. Between the mini tattoos and the yoga classes, I've been wanting a mini tattoo for a hot second, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's a great opportunity for you to grow as a person and become your best self. So, is there anything else you want to tell our friends out there?
You can also catch me for mini tattoos this Friday in Lander at the Climbers Fest. I will also have a booth there from 12 to 5. If not, just catch me probably Wednesdays and Thursdays in the U.S. Energy Building.
Okay, perfect. Well, hey, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
Awesome. Friends, we're going to get back to it. Morgan Wallen up next. Everything I Love, which for me is usually snacks, but today it's mini tattoos and yoga. Let's go. Let's have a great day. We'll be back at it in just a sec on the Renegade Wake Up. Nice.
Yay.
Woo, you did it.
Thank you so much. That was fun.
Of course. It's the idea. You want to have fun when you come in. Yeah. That's why the co-hosting thing. It's not like a salty, stuck-up interview.
Well, thank you guys.